Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first visit here. My name is Nate. Our company is custom made by us, and we are a direct-to-film printer, amongst other things. So today's video, we recently got into selling our supplies, the same supplies that we use in our day-to-day production. Just got a order of inks in today, so if you need some inks, powder or film, just go over to custommadebyus.com and place your order. The film we're using is a double matte hot peel. So prior to this film, we used a cold peel. Recently we had a substantial order for some shirts for a local company, and started using the hot peel, and to me that's a total change in the time it takes for you to do your shirts. So before, we would press, lift up the heat press, the platen, and then we have a little device that blows air, and we blow air on the film for, I don't know, 15 seconds or so till that was cool to the touch, and then we'd peel the film off and then do our second press with, it's a rubber mat that we got from Stahl's. It's their flexible heat application mat or something like that. I'll link to it in the description below if you're interested in picking it up. Before using the rubber mat, we used to use parchment paper, but the rubber mat, another game changer. Really gives that good texture to your transfer, so you can see those fibers in the fabrics when you're pressing. So I really like that. So, but the reality of it now is, with the hot peel, we have an auto open heat press. So when the press opens, I mean, literally when you pull the tray out, you grab that film and you just peel it off. Put on the rubber mat, do your second press, you're done. So, you know, right there, what you're cutting out realistically is 15 seconds per shirt, you know. So to me, that's substantial. So going from the hot, or from a cold peel to a hot peel. So today, it's kind of end of day. My last prints are going to be some items that we're doing. Jody came up with an idea that we're going to print. These are little pot holders. Let me see if I can turn the camera back on. So these little pot holders, we're going to print a DTF transfer to go on this that says, thanks for making me one smart cookie. And then inside there's going to be a little, it's a little packet for making like a batch of cookies, whether it's sugar cookies or chocolate chip cookies. And then it'll include a little spatula and a little cookie cutter. So she's going to make these up for some events and whatnot. So I'm going to demonstrate the hot peel on this little guy here once I get to that point. So I'm going to go ahead and print out my graphics and get them ready, get the heat press ready, and I will take you over there when I get to that point. So hang in there. Don't you go nowhere. Okay, so originally I said I wasn't going to take you long for the print ride. I was just going to get you over to the heat press so you could see the hot peel in action. But I talked about this the other day with my little DTF or film feeder system, so I don't get powder on my arm as I'm sticking my arm down in the shaker. So it works great. The only thing I'm having a problem with is my rails that I put in here. These were just prototypes. So I just double-sided taped them in. So I'm going to take them out. I'm going to drill out the bottom a little bit and glue in some magnets, and then that'll allow my microphone them to stay in better, because these, with the shaker vibrating, the sticks are starting to fall in there, and that's not a good thing. So, but I'm going to show you this print I'm doing is only going to be 22 by 24. It's only 2 feet long. So I mean, realistically, you could hand powder it, you know, like that, inside of this little bin here. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use a little bit extra film on the lead or the intake so I can get it up here, even though most of it's already going to be printed out. I'll do a manual load of the powder onto the film, and then I'll still use my little feeder string and clippy to get it completely covered with the powder, and then turn on the powder clear vacuum. One thing I am going to do is speed up the video because I don't have my oven on, and that doesn't take long. I turn on my preheat, oven dry. I don't turn on vacuum or powder clear. So preheat heats up this part of the printer. This actually has heat on it as well to help, start curing that ink as it's coming off the printer. So then this will get up to temp, and then as it goes in. So I will speed up the video when I get to that stage, and I'm going to show you the print and then the powder, and then getting it going into the system when, again, it's only 22 by 24. So I mean, again, back not too far ago, not too long ago, I would have just taken my film and, printed it, cut it off, put it up here, use a scooper, put some powder all over the film, and then, roll it back and forth, and then shake off as much as you can. I would open up this side, put it in here. I'd still use the powder clear so the paddles hit the back of the film to get the excess powder off, and then get it rolling up on the conveyor belt. But I do that for images if it's just a short run, if I'm doing something for Jody, my wife, that needs something for some of the stuff that she's working on. If it's small like this, I'll do it here, but 24 inches, 2 feet, I'm going to use my little thing. So again, I'm going to be right back. Okay. Printer is going to print. So these graphics are, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches wide by 3 or 4 inches tall. Again, they're going to go on that little pot holder. I don't know if you can see on the screen or not. I'm printing out 25 of them. I think she's got 20 of them to make. So I'll do one of them. Heat press is on. One thing to note about powder, if you have this setup, the same setup, when I used to buy my powder, for whatever reason, I thought it was necessary for me to try to fill this thing up with as much powder as I could. It'll hold probably 2 kilograms, maybe 3 kilograms of powder, 3 bags. The thing that I've realized in doing that, though, is there's a small screen that's inside the powder dispenser. The powder dispenser bin vibrates, so when you press powder manual, it's constantly vibrating, and it's shaking powder through that screen onto your film. When you set it to powder auto, it vibrates just a quick buzz about every 10 or 15 seconds to drop powder onto your film. If you load this up with powder, you've put a lot of weight on that, and it's not ideal for the powder to sift through that little screen. So I know how much powder I'm going to need for jobs that I'm working on, so I only put in the powder that I know, or pretty much what's going to be required for that work that I'm doing, or repurposing powder from below back up above, not topping this thing off like I did in the beginning. Works much better. So when it gets to that point, this is almost done, 80%. That's what I like with this printer too, is it prints relatively fast. So this job took 22 by 24, well, about 24 inches. Took, I don't know, 2 minutes and, let's see where it's going to end. About 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Again, there's not a whole lot of ink on this. It's small little graphics that we're using. You know what? They don't look the best in the world. Yeah, let's just see. Let's have some fun. So at this point, I'm going to lower it down all the way to the point where I can get my film on the bar with my magnet. You probably can't see down in there. Let's see. I'll hold the camera. So I grab it again. You've seen this process if you watched most of my videos. So I get that down there at that point, do a powder manual. It's dropping the powder down there. Sometimes I'll even come in here and give it some encouragement. I'll tap on the bottom of this little screen and, you know, kind of get some of that to come out a little bit better. So for me, that's probably adequate for that little print, probably more than I needed, but that's okay. We can repurpose that when it gets to that point. So I'm going to lower this down a smidgel, if that's even a word. So I bring this down some more, one more magnet up here. I cut off right here at the printer. The reason I like doing this is now this is going to go back up and reset for the next print job or for tomorrow. That's done. So I know some people, they actually take the leader all the way to the conveyor belt and they cut it here, and then they pull it all the way back through the shaker back up into the printer, and there's powder all down in here. So I really don't want to bring that powder back up into my printer. So I'm going to hook up my leash. At 24 inches wouldn't be that easy to hand powder, or maybe you're an expert at it and it's not that big of a deal. So for me though, I can just lower this down now. You can see it go down into the shaker. And as it reaches down to that point there, it's all getting powdered up. And you don't have to go back and forth with it, because normally when it's running through the shaker, it doesn't anyways. So at this point, I go ahead and take my, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I take this and kind of hook this up over here. So now I can let go of that. And then I'll grab this magnet and take it off. Someone might be saying, this is too much work. I turn on the powder clear. Turn on my vacuum. I get it going up to the conveyor belt. And then at the same time, I grab my leash and I feed it down as I need to. It's about halfway powdered right now. Film is almost to the bottom, so I can let go of the leash. So right there, I went ahead and let go of the leash. I'm just going to powder the rest of that. Powder just went across the remaining graphics. So that's pretty much it. So again, for even a transfer that's 22 by 24, I use my little contraption to powder it, because for me it's easy. Less mess. I mean, I literally didn't get any powder out here. I can guarantee if I tried to do a little back and forth over my little powder bin here, the powder would have been going everywhere. I normally hold on to my film when it's this short until this kind of gets up to where the graphics kind of get up to the first part of the table. And then obviously I leave the powder clear on until all of the graphics have passed by. I'll let go of it at this point. So, and then I can also drop down here and drop that powder that was down there inside the catch drawer. All right, so that's it. That's all the printing I was going to show you. So next part of this will be pressing. So hang in there. Okay, so prints are done. Thanks for making me one smart cookie. So we're going to go ahead and press this onto this little pot holder. So one thing to be aware of when you're pressing on things like this is the seam, or around it, or the ridge, this little loop thing. Sometimes because of that, your transfer can sit. When you press it, most of the pressure can go around that edge, because that edge might be sticking up higher than where your transfer is going to be. So I have a pressing pillow. It's a little Teflon pillow that I'm going to use. I'm going to put that in the pot holder there. Graphic goes. So part of my concern, though, is the graphic kind of goes a little bit beyond the pressing pillow, so that'll be interesting to see. So maybe my demonstration may not be the best. We're going to find out, right? Don't know till you try. So to me that looks decent. So I'm going to set down the camera over there, and we're going to do a press, and as soon as it pops, I'm going to do a peel. So let's see how it goes. So on this, I'm using the same temperature, 320 at 15 seconds. And then we'll do a second press. I talked about this. This is that rubber mat that I use instead of the parchment paper. So let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a run. So make sure you adjust your tension on your heat press, because typically we're doing t-shirts or sweatshirts. So this is obviously a different thickness. It's not as thicker than a t-shirt. So if I tried to pull this down with this in here with my tension at what I normally do, I wouldn't be able to close the press. So prior to putting this in, I test it to make sure that it'll close with this in there to make sure that it works properly. So just keep that in mind. So let's pull this and see what happens. I am a little bit concerned that those edges hang off a little bit from that pressing pillow for the hot peel, but we'll see. So this is done. One thing you want to do is just commit to it like it's a Band-Aid, like so, and that's it. Not sure if the black looks, well, it's not bad on the blue, but this is going to get a second press. So, but that's the one thing you want to make sure you do when you're doing a hot peel. 320, 15 seconds, and when it comes off, it needs to come off like a Band-Aid. So you don't want to grab the end and pull up. You want to grab the end and pull kind of like at an angle sideways as you're peeling it off. Take out the heating pillow. And that one's done. Turn my camera back on. And touch the screen there. Okay. So, and that's a good size. I actually reprinted them off camera. So the first one I did, so, you're not always following your own advice. So when I made the graphic, I made it 4 inches wide. By default, the image, we'd got it from Etsy. The image was 41 inches. So I thought, okay, I could resize it down to 4 inches and, it'll be fine. Well, I resized it to 4, leaving the resolution on the new image that I created at 72 DPI, dots per inch. So when I printed my graphic out, I'm kind of even embarrassed to show you this. This is what it came out like. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it was just crunchy, and the resolution was way off. I mean, jaggedy edges and everything. So I realized the error in my way after I printed a whole sheet of it. Which isn't too big, it's only 24 inches. So then I redid it, created obviously the new image at 300 DPI, at 4 inches, started printing it, and then realized, because I took this one here that I just threw in the trash, I put this one on the the pot holder. And I was like, crap, that's too small. That doesn't look right. So then I redid it again, making it 5 inches in width, which covers that placement pretty good. So I like the way that came out. And it's not all crunchy. So sometimes at the end of the day, I mean, I've been busy all day today, so my brain's unfortunately not functioning up to par. So that happens. So we'll get these pressed. She can put her little gift items together. Again, we talked about the ink. So this ink just came in. The downside to it is I already need to order more white. White seems, obviously, all DTF printers know, you're going to use probably 2 to 3 times more white than what you use in your CMYK. So luckily we have in our inventory over there in the cabinets, we have some more in there, but I just need to get all this put away. I need to inventory it, count it, get it in our system, but I've already contacted my supplier to get more white because that's going to go quick. So if you need ink, powder, or film, just go to custommadebyus.com and you can order there. So I'm going to end my video here. I try to keep my videos as short as possible. I always say that. I always say this is going to be a short video, but then it's not. So I hadn't made a video in a couple of days, so I'm just trying to stay focused. It's kind of hard. I see other YouTube people that are doing DTF and stuff, and they just, they put them out, every day or every couple of days, and I'm just like, I don't see how they do it. Or with my work volume, I just don't see how they manage that. I mean, for me, I would love to, but it's like I've got so much going on. Sometimes it's crazy. I'm not even done. I've got to go do some laser stuff tonight for a couple of customers and some laser stuff for ourselves. So it's just it's good. It's good stuff. So I don't know if you noticed. You see my LEDs that I put up in my little shop here? Because it's winter time in Boise and it's probably 40 degrees outside. I just put this up and I put it to a nice red color, and it kind of imitates the feeling of warmth or heat, even though it's not. Actually, you know what? It's 73 degrees inside my garage, and it's all due to the mini split. I don't know if you can see it up there. Yeah, the mini split that I have. So I run that during the day, plus the oven helps. So even that could be like 30 or 40 degrees outside my garage. I've got it set to 78, gets it to 73. My humidity is roughly 40, which is a little bit low, but it's not too bad. So, but anyways, I'm rambling again, and I wanted to thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, a lot of my content, here I go again. A lot of my content, though, is to help people, if you're getting into this business, DTF printing, it's not an easy business. I mean, you have to understand your printer. You don't want to buy a converted printer. I think those are, I'm on a lot of DTF groups, and all I ever see is what a nightmare those printers are. And so I just can't fathom someone getting into it and not understanding it and having to deal with it at that level. So if you can afford it, you're going to be into it for, at a minimum, probably $15,000 to get a good commercial 2 or 4 head printer. 24-inch format on the width with a oven, powder shaker. Again, that's at a minimum. Unfortunately for me, when I bought from Ricoma, and the printer itself is great. I love it. It works like gangbusters. The powder shaker in the oven works amazingly well. I mean, I don't have any problems with anything. I do my maintenance daily. Every morning when I do a nozzle check, it is perfect. I have had one head strike, which scared the crap out of me. And because I thought I damaged both print heads, which luckily I ran it a soak over the evening, and the next day it was perfect. So, but those are things that you can run into. So the channel again is, I might not do videos that are specific for what you're doing or what machine you have or what you're trying to accomplish, but if it's the same industry, you know, we're all doing graphics, and we're all dealing with clients and graphics and artwork. And, you know, my thing is I'm super busy with prints, but even at that, I still take the time to let my clients know I do artwork review. You know, I review every single order that comes in. I look at the artwork. So, and I've got it down to a science where it goes rather quickly, but if I see poor artwork, I will advise the customer that, hey, you've got poor artwork. We have 3 choices. You can increase the quality of your artwork. The other option is I can print it as is, but if I do, you won't be able to get a refund on it, or I can give you a full refund. So, and oddly enough, most of the people reply and say, just print it. I'll get it as is. So, and for me, I don't like doing that. I'm more of a perfectionist. I want it to be perfect for you, for our customers. So if that's not the case, then I really don't like printing it. But if they don't want to fix the artwork and they just want me to print it, I'll print it. And sometimes I'll even take the time I had an order today. It was a smaller order, but the graphics were horrible. And I told the customer, I actually did the job today, but I've been working with them for a couple of days, where I told them last week, I said, I can't print this. You know, it's just too bad. And, you know, you have to fix the artwork. And she came back and said, well, thank you for the information, but because of this, I'm going to have to find another company to take care of the job for. And I was like, that's fine. I completely understand. Because I had emailed her stating, I don't have time right now to help you with your problems. And I mean, I hate to do that, but that's the reality of our business. So she came back though and said, hey, you know what? I really want you guys to take care of this for me. So I went the extra mile, and I actually took her graphics and used my utility called Gigapixel, which resizes images. Took them into Photoshop. Even resizing them, they had crunchy edges. So, you know, there's a process you can do to smooth the edges out by using a Gaussian blur and, you know, adjusting create a curves channel and adjust your levels, your black and white levels to get a nice sharp line. So, I mean, it takes some time to do that, but I literally went through that and got the graphics to where they needed to be. And one thing, you know, one of her graphics was just so poor, no matter what I did, I couldn't get it right. So what I did is I did a Google image reverse search and actually found the exact same image on Etsy that was like $1.90. So I was like, you know what? I bought the image for her. You know, it cost me $2, not a big deal. But now I have that crisp, perfect image that she's going to have when she gets her prints from us. You know, so do I always go this far with all of our clients and their artwork? Not always, you know, but a lot of the times I'll do what I can. And again, I don't charge for artwork. You know, if I spend an hour helping somebody with artwork, I don't charge for that. They're in a business. I understand where they're at. They're probably beginning in their business just like myself. We've only been in this business this year. So, and not everybody has the means, the capital, you know, to pay someone to fix and clean things up and to get their business underway. And I could tell by this individual, they were new. So I just felt horrible for them and I wanted to help them, you know, so that's could be a downfall. I don't know. I think it's good. You know, customer service to me is number one. So I've connected in with clients and customers on their computers. You know, I'll use Quick Assist and, you know, help them do things in Photoshop and show them things in Photoshop to make them more informed so they understand better of what they need to do inside of the applications to delete dead transparent pixels, to improve resolutions. I mean, all of that stuff is key. But I mean, if I can spend 10 or 15 minutes connecting in with you and showing you how to do some things, which long-term is going to make you a customer of mine that's sending me work over and over and over again, and it's quality work that I can just print, I will take the time to do that. And again, I won't charge to do that, you know, so anyway, blah, 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 blah. Nate, you're real good at that, aren't you? Just rattling on. So anyway, that's the end of my video. I've got a lot more work to do. I got to inventory all this ink. I got to go do some lasering. So Thanks for coming by and watching my video. If you've learned anything from it, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so you can be notified when I do post new videos. And as always, I appreciate you. Thank you.